Initially, the first 4 varieties we put in the ground were what people were saying. They knew they would grow well in the state. They knew grew well in different parts of the state. We picked popular varieties that, people would buy, Chardonnay and Cabernet Franc and whatever. We knew that there was a lot of Chardonnay being grown, so that one was the one that we thought might be a little bit tricky. But as far as, and that was the Cab Franc, Merlot, and Viognier. And at the time, they were saying that where California is known for Chardonnay and Merlot, Virginia's going to make its name on Cab Franc and Viognier. And so over the first 6 years, those were the 4 varieties we put in. They were not planted necessarily on request. And so the contracting on those in the course of the last 10 years changed rapidly. And sometimes mid-harvest, people would agree to buy, and then I would be in the field the day of, and they would say, my owner won't let me get that last couple of tons. And then I'd be on the phone with somebody else saying, do you want it? It's getting Chardonnay. We actually ended up planting more since then on request of a winemaker. And that all those kinds of things end up come out of those relationships that are built. And so we were selling to a winery that was not necessarily a great business enterprise to deal with from our end. Like there was not mutual respect of their growers. Like we were definitely subpar compared to the owners and the buyers. But the winemaker that was working for them really liked the fruit and really liked the limestone and the things that we had in our area compared to other parts of the state that gave that fruit characters that he wanted. So when he left them and ventured out on his own, and to this point, we grow for him. And the expansion was for him and his partner that's in France. And so those kinds of things are really cool. So the first 4 varieties have been pretty touch and go. Our red contracts still fluctuate. All of our red grapes are going to different people this year than they went to last year. And last year they went to somebody for the first time that they didn't ever go to before that. And so interestingly, those are the 2 that we have trouble with. Everything from that point forward, the last 10 acres all went in on specific request. And they were buyers that we'd already been working with, but that said, if you put in 3 acres of this, I will buy it. And so that's kind of how we've done those. But now I've got people waiting in line saying, can you grow a little bit more of? Or if so-and-so ever cancels their contract on that variety, I'll take it. Like one variety, I've got 4 people waiting. I think just understanding the market in the area, interestingly, and probably with a lot of crops, the tastes and preferences and demands of the market are regionalized. And so what sells really well outside of Charlottesville might not sell very well in Roanoke. What's going to a 5-star restaurant in DC might not sell well in Richmond's restaurants. And people have different tastes for things, and having the skill of people involved with the business. So as the industry's grown really fast, there are a lot of wineries that have gone in with vineyards versus just vineyards. And so we made the decision to try and do one thing really well. There was an Italian man that had developed the technology that we used for our irrigation system, and he said, to talk all the time about how in Italy people were fabulous winemakers or they were fabulous grape growers, and it was all about the relationship of those 2 people. It wasn't one person trying to do all of it like he saw happening a lot here. And so we just figured we would just kind of do that. But as far as a marketing standpoint goes, the places that we sell to are diversifying. They're spreading out their liability by having fruit that they know might not have as much rain on it as somewhere else. But they already have a market set for their production load. The fallback is when you're selling fruit to someone that has produced way too much end product and can't move it. And then the following year, then all of a sudden they don't need the fruit because they already have all this inventory. And then now who do we sell the fruit to because this guy can't take it anymore? The other thing too, I think, because it is the other half of our operation with the cattle and that whole market, and with those prices and how they're getting sold. And I mentioned, do they just go straight out to the stockyard like we normally do after we've picked replacements, or do you work with the quality assurance programs and things that are set in place? And there's so much talk now about how point of origin is going to be regulated and those kinds of things. We've always done what was required from the get-go, tracking from birth date on, just in case that stuff goes into effect, or we put it in a sale where we have to provide all of those records and documentation that they had all of their immunizations and things like that.